not to do for co-parenting.
Yeah, and it dropped in somewhere in the middle of that statement. What not to do co-parenting?
Yeah, what not to do.
Oh, delightful.
Well, I don't. Unfortunately, this is like a topic I know nothing about because
Oh,
I have,
oh.
So, so this is all you. I have
I
honestly, I've been wanting to talk to you about this. I have so many questions. Hold on, let me let me
go,
get my
yeah,
scroll
go
out.
nuts. Ask away. I don't know where to start.
Honestly, the best way to start this is, how is your co-parenting?
Oh, fuck you. Uh, the,
Well, okay, I have a, let's rewind this. Let's rewind this. For the explain yourself because people that don't know, explain
okay.
yourself from the beginning.
So my dad position is I'm stepdad to be. I've been Marco's stepdad to be for 2 years now. Uh, the first time I met him was his fifth birthday party, actually, and yesterday was his seventh. So I've known him for 2 years and a day now. Uh,
Wow.
I love the kid. I love the kid. I love his mom. They're delightful. We're looking at June, by the way, for the wedding.
Oh,
That,
okay.
yeah, exciting news. Uh,
Okay. Well, I think Marco's great. He's
he's delightful.
anti-shy. He like as soon as I meet him, he just starts talking to me like I'm just his best friend. I'm like, this kid's awesome.
He trusts my judgment.
Yeah.
I don't like. It's weird because in public when it's a real rando, he'll clam up. Uh,
Yeah.
if it's someone like kind of tangentially related, like one of David's friends, he'll like clam up and give them some time, figure them out. But if it's mine or Aries friends, he's like, oh shit, yeah. Like there's an immediate trust there.
Well, that's good. That's good. That's a quality that like you don't really teach. It just comes to certain people, and I feel like that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool that like we can share that. Uh, I Marco's delightful. He's changed my life in so many ways. It's unreal, and all of them have been positive. I love him so much.
Hmm.
Uh,
With that said,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm not the
yeah.
biggest fan of his dad. Uh,
well, well, all right. Let's look
and
at let's look at the pros and cons of this. Why? All right. So I know you're not the hugest fan of his father. Explain to
and
me.
it's not. And I'm cool with him. Like we can shoot the shit for hours. He's a cool guy. I like him as a person. I just do not like him as that position. Uh, that's solely where my beef is. He is a very cool guy, and if I met him in other circumstances, I'd be best friends with him.
Mhm.
He's a very cool guy. Uh,
I've met him once, um, when you guys were down here in Charlotte, and I agree 100%. I mean, me and him just kept talking, shooting the shit. I mean, I like to cook. I cut meat. He's just kind of in that. It was
yeah,
really
easy
cool
guy to
guy.
talk to.
Hmm. I just,
Easy to talk to.
Mhm.
I just,
I mean,
ugh.
some people out there, like I don't want to say, obviously, we know people that are amazing human beings, but when it comes to raising another human being, they just fall flat on their face. And you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
I don't know
and you
too
see the
much.
corollary from the opposite, like the people who are like, I can't really get up my feet off the ground. Like you see them with kids and they blossom. Like
Yeah,
they
I
just
mean,
they're whole people then, and they're functioning as such. It's cool to see that.
um, not to pry too much into the relationship between
The personal
Gary.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not to pry too much into it, but so what 100% went wrong between Ari and Pablo?
What?
Well, because I
Not
feel
to get
like,
too personal, but what was the
well,
reason for the divorce?
well, my whole thing is obviously, if you look at it, if you agree with me, the fact that every problem starts somewhere, and I'm not saying like you said, he's a great guy. I'm sure, he has his flaws that you don't know too much about, and that is everybody has their flaws, but obviously he lacks something in the parenting thing. And I've always wanted to know, and I mean, you might not know the answer to this, but I've always wanted to know is that one of the main reasons why she's not with him is because of the way was he absent? Was he
I'm gonna
just not?
decline comment entirely.
That's fine.
I'm not touching that one. That's a. Whoa. Uh-uh. Nope.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Leave people in suspense. I like it.
Well, no,
Um,
just that is not my place at all to speak to.
okay,
At all.
understandable.
That is a respect for her and a respect for him. All
right. Well, let's move on to the other question.
All right.
So, what are the things that bother you the most? That then.
it, so Pablo being so easy to talk to, he likes to joke around.
Yeah.
And again, in other situations, terrific quality to have. He jokes surrounding the parenting topic, like, "Hey, how's Marco today?" or "How's the drive going?" What? We have a kid in the back? I thought that was a pound of sentient cocaine. Oh, Jesus, I must be coming down real hard. Like that kind of joke. And it's like, what the fuck? Not cool. Not cool. Like, the fact that you are joking says that he's safe. Cool.
Yeah.
That parlays that information quite nicely. You did not have to make me dig through that emotional nightmare to get to that information. Asshole.
Wow.
That was not an actual joke he made, thank God. But
okay.
Yeah, I was spitballing there.
But on the lines of stuff like that.
It's not that intense usually. Ari's actually gotten me worse. I texted her one day and was like, "Hey, did you pick up Marco from school? Like, they let out early." And he goes, and she responds, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, do I have to leave fucking work to go get my son out of school an hour after they let out? Holy shit." And she like stops all communication for like 5 minutes. And then the next message is a photo or a video of those two going, "Hi!" I was like, that was not cool. He's not that bad.
Okay. So like, so do you ever think that like maybe his troubles of like parenting that you see is the lack of?
I'm not even saying he's a bad parent.
Well, okay.
Co-parenting with him is tough.
Okay.
Definitely. It's very tough. That has an impact on my reaction towards him as a person.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's tough, and it's not calling his character into question. It's just our parenting type does not match his parenting type at all.
Well, see, okay, so I'm a little biased because I'm your friend and I've known you for a long time, but I try to always put myself in their shoes and like, just you ever think about like maybe he thinks the same thing with you?
Oh
maybe
God,
he thinks
no,
maybe
he's got to.
Maybe he holds back because he doesn't like the way you correct him or doesn't like the way you let him do certain things. I mean, so like, he could be having a podcast right now talking, saying, I think Alex is a great guy, but I don't like him, some of the things he does around my son. I mean, like,
yeah, it's very possible.
yeah,
that's very possible. But our
yeah. I can't see what's going on. I hear noises.
Sorry, I was putting batteries on the charger. That's my bad. I thought it was quiet enough.
This is what I heard.
Sorry, Jesus.
No, it's
that was
okay.
my bad. Sorry to the listeners as well. I just we've aired some of those beefs. We do try to correct each other. There's a lot of communication that does happen. It's not up to standards, I'll say. Like, I'm not super fond of the jokes surrounding that really at all.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me dig through all that to get to the information that you should have just said to begin with. Please.
Hmm.
Uh, so like, you joke about other stuff. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Just not there. Not there. All you're doing is giving us anxiety. Like, come on.
I mean, maybe it's something he'll learn in time. I mean, obviously, like
It's a core
he.
character feature.
Oh, it is. It's
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah, no, Aries like, yeah, he's always done this. I don't think he'll ever stop him. Like, yeah, please.
Well, so like I said before, obviously, I this is something that I don't know too much about, but I have been around people that have definitely taken a child in like their own. I mean, my grandfather who raised me is technically not my blood grandfather. He, my mother, my uncle, and my aunt were all like toddlers, and he married my grandmother, and he raised them up. And he always used to tell me that it takes a man to raise a child, but it takes a real man to raise a child that might not be theirs. And so I've always respected people that can step in and do co-parenting and do things like that, because I mean, I'm gonna be very blunt. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could, if say if something happened between me and Kristen, and she started dating another bloke. I just no fucking way. I mean, the fact knowing that he's near my daughter would destroy me, and so it's
That
I can.
that anxieties, we've crossed that bridge with him. Uh,
Yeah.
that was actually quashed really, really early on, really quickly. Like he came out for like he had questions and he was asking the questions as was appropriate uh,
Okay.
at the time, and then he came out and visited, brought his mom out, and like I met both of them, and they were like, oh yeah, no, this is okay.
Okay.
That's yeah, that's cool. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, and all of the questions stopped. Uh,
That's good.
yeah,
That's a good. That's definitely a big step.
yeah, that was a big first step, and I was very standoffish at first regarding Pablo.
Yeah.
I was really waiting on some weird pushy X shit to go down, but it still has not. So I genuinely don't think any of that weird, unhealthy shit is gonna happen. He just likes to be friends with people, which is that
Well,
it's it it's such a positive thing, but also like I don't necessarily want to be friends with my wife's ex-husband, uh,
yeah, it's
my
it's
fiance's
it's
ex-husband.
it's a weird, like, at least this is how I feel. I don't know if you feel this way, but it's weird being in a room with somebody else that have seen your fiance or wife naked. I've
There's
been in that
always a
situation.
tension. There's always a
Yeah,
tension.
like, okay, yeah, okay. I know some things. Like, it's just a weird concept, but
He actually keeps threatening Ari with taking me out for a beer so he can air his dirty laundry on her. Like, this is what you gotta watch out for, man. That kind of shit. And I'm like,
my whole
dude, fuck off.
dude, dirty laundry. Everybody has baggage. Who cares? Like,
Yeah,
is it happening right now? No. Okay, then who gives a shit?
yeah.
Like,
The behavior's been corrected. Uh,
we've both done some crazy things in our day. So
Let me tell you what you should watch out on the singles market for, sir.
yeah.
Women that have had this happen to them. Not that I would know.
Mhm.
Uh,
Do you I have a question. Do you think that this co-parenting is beneficial for a child, or will it make? I'm not saying Marco.
I
I'm
have
just
no
in
idea.
general,
I have
in
no
general,
idea.
because
I,
like both of your parents are still together.
yeah.
They've always been together. And I was raised by my grandparents, so I didn't really have you know any thought of that. Um, so I mean, I've had some stepdads in my day, but like I said, I was raised by my grandparents, so I didn't really
Yeah.
give a shit about them. Um, so like I always wanted to know. I mean, I can see it being good, but also seeing it being bad. It just depends on the person.
Yeah.
Like,
It depends on the situation.
I
Um,
mean, you're I mean, not to toot your own horn, but he lucked out by having someone like you in his life rather than, another person that's, I don't know, just some random person. So it's like, you guys, it was kind of like meant to be, more or less. I can't see shit. I try to with my glasses. Well, because I have a glare. I can see the damn glare.
That's why I don't wear mine during the podcast. I just can see.
Yeah, all right,
Or
ready?
well enough, anyway.
This is me trying to look. Oh, yeah, I can see now.
I don't know how to continue.
Just don't look at me. Just go. It's like, anyway, go on.
Yeah, it just thanks first. We all of us have noticed that like this is a good fit.
Yeah.
Me being in this position, me, Marco, Ari, Pablo, this is a good fit for the family, I guess. I'm sure that quantity of visit is a point of interest there for Pablo.
Yeah.
But
do you ever think
we gotta figure out the balancing point, and it's a work in progress. Like we're living and learning.
Yeah, I mean, like we've said before in the past, it's definitely you taking on this responsibility is definitely have changed you. I mean,
yeah, Jesus.
I've known you for a while. I mean, we weren't, we were close at one point, then not close at one point, but I do know some things about you, and I can definitely tell you're at another level because you're a parent now, and hopefully one day you have an infant running around because I want you to suffer. I want you to change some shitty diapers bad.
Look, I found somebody else's save file and I resumed from level 5 because I didn't want to do the tutorial bullshit. I wanted to get into the game. I wanted to find out what the core mechanics were about, and
cheater, you lucked out. You got like,
yeah, the fuck I did. Because holy shit, easy mode, dog. Like,
hey.
they picked a fucking Bulbasaur starter. Perfect run.
I want you to ask Marco next time you see him if he wants a little brother or a sister.
No, he does. We've actually talked to him about that.
Okay.
He's very much looking forward to a brother, but he'd be excited to meet his little sister too.
Yeah.
Like, and he said that, like, I don't care which it is, but I think it'd be cool to have a little brother that I could kind of like show the ropes.
Yeah.
The way I'm being shown the ropes. And I was like, okay, cool. That's a lot.
Honestly,
thanks, buddy.
Honestly, you'll be fine. It isn't that bad. And she's would
done
know. Yeah, she's
already done it. So I've got the cheat sheet handy.
Yeah.
I'm not walking into this one blind with everybody else going, you'll see. I'm not getting that experience at all, and it's awesome.
Here's I was just thinking while you were saying that. So this is an odd question, but I like to ask some weird ass fucking questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say when you guys do have another baby, and the baby gets older, we'll just say it's a boy, and the boy's name is Moses, and then when Moses gets older, we'll
Moses specifically? Why?
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Okay.
Just
Moses gets older.
Or Donald. We'll go with Donald. Donald's more
please,
of a good name.
That's a
anyway.
hard no. We'll go with Moses. Thank you.
do you think that you will favor the new child over Marco? Being as that, I know you don't really know, but like in your mind, I know you're not in your mind, you're not going to. But realistically, do you think this happens? Because I have always thought that this happens. I mean, I have a stepbrother. I'm not a stepbrother. I have a half brother that was, and I always thought that he got more love than I did from my mother, because I was raised by my grandparents when my mother raised my brother. So it's like, why does he get you and I don't? So those are some dark issues that I don't want to talk about. Just as I was,
buddy?
As I was unlayering the onion, I was like, shit, I don't want to go down this. Okay.
Jesus.
But anyway, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you feel confident that you're gonna treat them equally?
Um, that's obviously a concern.
I'm trying to dig myself out of
I'm
this.
just gonna run with it as earnestly as possible. That is an
Oh,
honest concern that Ari and I have. We've both voiced that concern. We don't want that to be the case.
okay.
We're also kind of concerned about second child syndrome, with the like, ah, they'll be fine.
Okay.
Let him eat shit. Fuck it. He'll
Yeah.
learn. We're concerned about that thing too. So trying to balance that out. Uh, it's obviously a little different than like nominal siblings and the I'm mommy's favorite. No, you're not. Boom. That kind of thing. It's more intense than that, and we're gonna have to balance both things to make sure the second child isn't like focused in on super intensely. To make sure he's raised just right, and like balance that off the other foot of like, fuck it, he'll be fine.
I mean,
So
you
that
should know this.
there aren't perceived favorites.
Yeah. I mean, you have three brothers. I mean,
I'm the eldest of three.
yeah. Clearly, you're the favorite. I mean, the other two are just
Oh fuck,
fucking.
no I'm not. No the fuck I am not.
Well, I bet you they all feel the same. I feel like both your brothers are probably like, oh, I'm definitely not the favorite. Oh, I'm definitely not. Usually, I think
No, the
I think
favorite
it's
knows who it is.
yeah. I'm,
The favorite knows who it is.
it's usually the baby. It's
Yeah.
usually like the youngest because your parents already went through shit with you, then better shit with your brother, and then the youngest one, it's like, who gives a fuck, whatever. You want the skateboard? You can have the skateboard. Like,
The youngest got the easiest path by far, but they were very familiar with the not easiest path.
yeah.
Uh,
You
that was
built-
I just don't want to participate.
Oh man.
And
Well, that's good.
he withdrew and carved himself the easiest path.
Mhm.
A lucky bastard.
Well, I'm sorry that the co-parenting is still not at the level that you wanted to get to.
It's not
It'll
gonna
get there.
be. Like
I think it eventually will. Maybe it might take 5 years. It
We-
might take 10.
we've got a roughly healthy system going. There's communication. Both parents talk. Like all three parents talk for that matter.
Yeah.
It's just it's like I know his mom at this point.
Yeah.
And she's a person that says happy birthday on Facebook and kiss gifts and she's a cool person.
Yeah.
And like
Well, she cares about people,
yeah,
and obviously at one point in time he meant a lot to her, so she's gonna care.
yeah, and she still does care because it's her grandson. And just nothing but positive things for her. Like
Yeah.
and it so we're very constructive. I can't bitch about like a communication problem too much because in the grand scheme of things, like this could be an ugly relationship with them very easily. It
Oh.
could be destructive. Like, oh, I'm not dropping him off for an extra 3 days. You can kiss my ass, eat me. I'll see you in court, kind of shit. Like, we don't have any of that. None of it. Thank God. Oh,
You know,
this is hard as it is. It is. I could not imagine going through that shit.
I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I know it's getting closer to the time for this episode, but I'm gonna tell you this quick story. So before I met my wife, I was in between I was like a serial dater, and there was this girl that I worked with. Her name was Amanda. I'll say her name. I don't know her last name. I don't remember it. So her name she has 2 kids, and she was only with her baby's daddy like her whole life, and he's cheated on her, did all these things, and I was like, well, I don't really care. And at the time, I just wanted to, get it in and kiss her and all that good stuff. But I started liking her. I thought she was really cool. I liked her kids. I was like, could I be the father of her kids? I mean, or stepdad? Could I do this? And I had
Mhm.
that serious talk with her, and her kids really liked me and stuff. But the drama destroyed anything that was going to happen
Oh
with her.
yeah.
Her baby's daddy was just like for one, I hate the name Tom. I have dated so many girls with their ex-boyfriends named Tom that it just ruins my life. I'm telling you right now. That's another story. But anyway, he just was in,
So this is a
like,
blanket like fuck people named Tom.
yes, absolutely, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. You heard it here first, folks.
Yes,
Rob
please.
2020.
Yes.
Except for those goddamn Toms.
We're gonna get Toms out of here. We're gonna make America great again. No.
Oh, that's scary.
Anyway, but no, so like he would come up to her job and start fighting with her, and like naturally, like I'm kind of dating her. There's nothing there, so I kind of want to like, yeah, I don't want to intervene because I've
Because
never
it's
been in
not your
this.
place
I've never
at
been in
that
this.
point.
Yeah, because he is the father of the kids. So if they were just dating or ex-boyfriends and stuff, yeah, I'm gonna intervene. Hey, get away from my chick, like. But he has something of like it's just weird. So I've intervened, and he's not a tough guy. He saw me, and I like to fight. So I was like, okay, I just said my piece and stuff. But the drama, like she would have to hide and like hide the text. She wouldn't text me certain days because he'd be with her, and like she was like eating her cake, and what is it called? I want my cake and eat it too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was, and then it pretty much came down to I was the mistress. I I was the person that she was just
Huh.
because he cheated on her a bunch of times, but she wanted to just cheat on him to kind of get him even. And naturally, as a guy, I mean, I would love to, that's fine. You can use me anytime you want. But when you
I have a hard disagree on that position for
well,
myself. Do
that's
not.
fine. But I started liking her kids. I mean, I had like a picture of her daughter in my wallet. Like it was really a good situation, but unfortunately, the drama just destroyed it. And so I know exactly what you're saying with that point. Like you have a good
Oh
relationship with
yeah.
every conversation and
Oh
stuff, and
yeah.
it could be worse. And I know people out there, hopefully people that listen here, have gone, not hopefully they go through this, but if they have gone through this, that it just, you're not the only one, man. This is some crazy shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I can understand the crazy shit very very easily. I've been through a lot of crazy shits.
yeah.
And just oh my god. Oh, fuck no. I'm so happy. I'm so goddamn happy.
I think I'm
Oh,
gonna I'm getting a headache from not wearing my glasses.
so keep them on.
I will keep them on.
Thank you, Alex.
Yes. So, um, yeah, I have nothing else to
Well,
ask you about that. I mean, that was
well,
just kind of one of those. I honestly never thought I would. I wanted to talk to you about this, but I never thought I would actually talk to you about it because I know you're more of a private person than I am, and there's certain things that I just don't want to bring on the.
yeah, yeah. There are things where it's not my place to say or talk
Yeah.
about. There are things where like I don't have to share that,
Hmm.
but like doesn't mean I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like
Like
this was fine.
for now.
Ah!